Hey guys, Matt LaRosiere here with Firearms Policy Coalition, bringing you another weekly update, just to make sure you have all the latest information on everything affecting your right to keep and bear arms. Up first this week, the 2020 DNC platform. We have the DNC platform for 2020, which was just released, but I'm sure it won't come as a surprise to most of you, but they want gun control, and a lot of it. Here are the things they're pushing for this cycle. Mandating universal background checks, ending online gun and ammo sales, banning people from ownership for misdemeanor, nonviolent, and speech-related offenses, and expanding the federal background check system. But wait, there's more. They want to prevent the manufacture and sale of commonly owned rifles and magazines, red flag laws to force you to lock up firearms in your own home, and to pay states to write even more gun laws. They also want people to be able to sue gun manufacturers for the acts of criminals. Not only are these laws ineffective, they blatantly violate your rights and waste your money. Remember, you can't stop random acts of violence, but you can definitely preach gun rights and vote out tyranny. Up next, hidden red flag law in the NDAA. The National Defense Authorization Act is the bill where they figure out how much money they're going to give to the Department of Defense every year. In case you're wondering, this year it's $740 billion. I'm bringing up the NDAA because it seems some politicians snuck a red flag law into the package. No, the red flag law wouldn't affect everyone in the country. Instead, it allows military judges to strip service members of their firearms without due process. In other news, revelations on Justice Roberts. Inside sources may be shedding light on why the Supreme Court turned down 10 Second Amendment cases this term. We knew that some of the justices were interested in hearing a number of 2A cases, but many were wondering why the court didn't wind up taking any up. Well, turns out that, according to sources inside the court, Chief Justice Roberts repeatedly signals that he wouldn't side with gun rights in many of these cases. So the Supreme Court's closed-door politics is one of the darkest black boxes that exists. We likely won't know how much of this is true, but it kind of jives with what I've been thinking already. Regardless, all we can do is keep our fight up and keep the pressure on, and that's just what we'll keep doing. Next up, New York's ghost gun ban. In New York, the state Senate just voted 43-17 to ban spooky ghost guns. Color me surprised. Their AG has been trying to ban them along with 80% lowers for a while now. Of course, this is likely because they don't know anything about guns, because they don't know how to write laws, or both. They also criminalize the manufacture or otherwise assembly of a firearm, rifle, or shotgun by anyone other than a licensed gunsmith. The law comes along with mechanisms to ensure pretty much everything a gunsmith touches gets a serial number, annoying for anyone who owns historical, unserialized firearms. Which, by the way, there was no requirement to serialize firearms until about the 1960s. Finally for this week, hoplophobia in merry old England. Last but not least, we have news from England, where the government and the press are joining forces to oppress and advocate for more gun control. The first story comes from Camden, where a 12-year-old was handcuffed after having his home raided by the police based on what I presume was an anonymous tip that they had a gun in the house. The police made the boy's sister stand out on the street in their pajamas for an hour while they used a dog to search the home. Now, I knew the Brits had TV detecting vans, seriously look that up, but I've never heard of gun-sniffing dogs. Fascinating. Of course, there wasn't a real gun in the house, the kid just had an air rifle. Then, over in Hampshire, the local news is complaining that hundreds of the most dangerous types of civilian-owned guns are being held there. Now that sounds ridiculous, especially when you realize they're talking about shotguns and .22 caliber rimfire rifles. Stories like this always make me think about the slippery slope fallacy and how it isn't a fallacy at all. Just a few decades ago, the UK had a great culture of marksmanship, and now look where they are. It's sad. And we hope things will improve for our brothers overseas. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to know more, check out fbcnews.org, where you can find this week's edition and information on all of our legal and legislative efforts. If you think this content would be important to anyone you know, help us spread the word and tag them in the comments. Also, be sure to check out fbcgear.com, where you can get all kinds of Pro 2A gear like this shirt and this flag, and help keep us in the fight. As always, keep your eyes on Firearms Policy Coalition, where we're keeping up the fight for all of your rights all the time. I've been Matt LaRosiere, and I'll see you real soon.